let's, like, just fucking churn through this, I guess. I don't want to play this. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. I don't know why I'm making myself play this fucking game. Because I don't want to play it, but I don't want to not play it. Because isn't, like, I don't want to not have played this. It's weird, but, like, okay, here's why. Because you wouldn't think this, but I actually own every single Resident Evil game.
Sir? What happened to Ada Wong?
Ada Wong.
You remember?
Oh, you remember. Shut up, Pierce.
Captain?
You're gay.
Where is she?
She's leading Neo Umbrella. All these
Is
terrorists
she in the city or not?
She's been sighted several times since the attacks began.
I'm not talking about this anymore.
She's here.
I own all of the Resident Evil games, and it's weird because, like, I own
Tell them
the DS version of Resident Evil 1. They made a DS port of Resident Evil, and it's shockingly fantastic. And I have Remake, and I played Remake
Damn you to hell.
kind of a lot. And I have Resident Evil 2 and 3 and Code Veronica on the PlayStation 3. On like either PS. That's not how that's not how flamethrowers work. That's not how flamethrowers work, asshole. On like a PlayStation 1 Classic kind of thing. And they re-released. Oh, fucking own! Look at that giant flowing dog poop snake.
Alpha to HQ. We're engaging a hostile.
Oh, fucking wrecked.
Marco, everyone on me. We're going after that thing.
Fuck you.
You heard the
Why does my ammo count carry over from the flashback? The flashback ammo count is what I have now. But that doesn't make sense. Because I should have the ammo I had at the end of the first level, but instead I have the ammo I had at the end of the flashback, even though the flashback happened like 6 months ago? Okay, here's the thing that is like super famous in this game that everyone talks about. Here we go. We're doing it. You guys, I'm super angry and I want revenge against Ada Wong. Is she in the city or not? You guys, I need to go get Ada Wong! I need to go get Ada Wong and find your umbrella! I'm Chris Redfield! I'm Chris Redfield! I'm Chris Redfield! I'm gonna get revenge for my fallen comrades! Yeah! Chris Redfield! Fuck, this game's garbage. Anyway. Holy shit. I own RE2 and 3. I own Code Veronica because they re-released that as like an HD thing alongside RE4, which is bizarre. I own like fucking like 5 different versions of Resident Evil 4. I own RE5, obviously, on... I had it for Xbox 360, but I sold that version, but I got another... I have, like, RE5 Gold for PS3. I have a lot of them on the PS3, actually. And I didn't have 6. And I have both of the Revelations games. And 6 was the only one I didn't have for a long time. And for a good reason. So, but it always felt like kind of an absence to me, because it is a numbered Resident Evil game. You can't ignore it. And unlike, say, Metal Gear Solid, which has always been, like, one person's franchise. Like, it's not Metal Gear without Hideo Kojima. Resident Evil has just always been a Capcom franchise. Like, it's not
Assume battle position.
owned to Shinji Mikami. It's okay if he isn't responsible for a game of the franchise. It doesn't, like... He's an auteur and is, like, a big reason the franchise is what it is. But it's not, like... It's not Resident Evil without Shinji Mikami, you know? So it did always feel like an absence to have not played Resident Evil 6. Considering I have all the other ones. Yay. No, just keep, no. Excuse me. Excuse me? You guys enjoy that. Have fun with yourselves. Fucking idiots. But at the same time, it's like, I wouldn't consider myself to have any real attachment to the Resident Evil franchise. Like, it's not like it's a game series I grew up with or anything like that. Like, I didn't play these games as a kid. For some reason, the flash grenade doesn't work on these guys now. That makes sense. It works when I was playing a Sherry. But look at this. Hold on. That doesn't count. The NPC... Oh, he didn't even die. I thought the NPCs had killed him. Because I didn't play these games as a kid, because these games were scary. I would try to play these games as a kid, but guess what? They were scary, so I didn't fucking play them. I never, like, really had anything on the PlayStation 1, so I didn't play the classic games, but I did rent, Remake. It sure would be nice if the fucking flash grenade trick worked on these guys. Like I thought it did, but apparently not. Fucking stupid video game. I rented Remake once, and it fucking scared the shit out of me. True story. I got up to the first zombie in, the hallway after the kitchen. And I was a child. I was a young child boy. Fox. And I was like, no, and it gave me nightmares, and it super scared the shit out of me, and I never played it again, and I never played Resident Evil. But so I never played these games as a child. But what I did have is I had like.
They're alive.
Oh, cool. What do you mean?
They went missing 6 months ago in Adonia.
What a coincidence that they just so happened to show up here now. Look at this blatant story They're alive! Even if they, okay, you thought they were dead.
The Umbrella's after them.
Oh my god, this is so fucking stupid. Anyway. I'm trying, fuck this story. Fuck this. I don't care. I'm talking about my past. My past as a young little fox. I had the fucking, strategy guides for every single Resident Evil game. I had the strategy guide. I had this cool strategy guide that was the strategy, that was like a 2-in-1 for Resident Evil 2 and 3. And I had the Prima Game strategy guide for Remake. And I had the strategy guide for Zero. And I had the strategy guides for all these games. And back then, strategy guides were fucking sick. Because they came with all this lore. What am I even supposed to be shooting? Oh. They came with all this, cool little, write-ups.
I can't reach those two on the radio. They're not responding. What should we do?
About, plot and lore and all this cool fucking shit. And they were just a joy to read, to be honest with you. And I also had, what was it called? The Umbrella Chronicles, I think, or the Wesker Report. What was it called? It's this, like, big fucking book that had a bunch of like lore stuff, and it was really fucking cool. It was this huge, massive book that had like character profiles and summaries of like what all the viruses in the series did, and like a timeline of the franchise. It was just so fucking cool, and I remember I still have it. I think it might be in storage somewhere, but I know I still have that. Fuck, man, it was just so cool. And I would read these fucking little strategy guides and books and whatnot, even though I never played the game. So I don't have any kind of nostalgic connection to these games because I didn't play them as a kid, but at the same time I do have a little bit of a nostalgic connection to these games because I experienced the Resident Evil, you know, franchise and storyline and characters and all this lore and whatnot, but through a different way. I remember this one person who made videos I used to follow, who did consider himself a fan of the Silent Hill franchise, but he never played any of the games. He watched Let's Plays and read like online summaries and analyses and supplementary material and things of that nature. And it's like, yeah, I never actually played the games, but I do consider myself a Silent Hill fan. And it's sort of like that, you could say. Because I didn't play. Fuck you, stop taking the fucking control of the camera away from me.
Too easy. Come on, keep moving.
Captain, we should escort those two out of here. They'll never survive on their own.
Why do we care?
Let's go.
Like, they're not our problem.
Gonna blow the door.
Dude, the last time you saw them, you were like, give me a break, I'm gonna go fight this guy and I need to be held back. And now all of a sudden Pierce is like, hey, we need to do the noble thing and help escort these two strangers who don't act... Like, what? Why? Why do we need to escort them out of here? What connection, like, what investment do we have?
Their legs are like a grasshopper's.
Like,
I don't care what they are, as long as they stay dead when you kill them.
I like how Chris's personality has completely done a fucking 180. And we're expected to believe, oh, like, now he's all mad and vengeance because of the flashback. He had the flashback to the thing when a bunch of red shirts, random red shirts who don't matter, and you didn't care about as the player. You don't care that they died, but he cares, and now he's very mad and vengeance obsessed, I guess, and oh no, he doesn't want to help the Sherry and the Jake, even though he has no reason to help the Sherry and the Jake. And that's actually kind of consistent with his personality, where before he was like, that's not our mission. Remember when they were like, oh, when Pierce was like, hey, we need to take him in, he's an insurgent. And Pierce was like, dude, they don't matter. It's not our problem. Stop being an idiot. Oh, I'm supposed to fight this? I thought the helicopter was on our side. I guess not? Okay. But now Pierce is like, we need to help these characters that previously I wanted to have a conflict against and wanted to fight. And I didn't like that Jake guy, no sir. But now we need to fight them and, help them. That's what we need to do. We need to help them even though that has nothing to do with our mission. Which, what is your mission here? And Chris, oh, he doesn't want to do that because it's not our mission. Now he is a bad for doing that because, oh, he is obsessed with the vengeance. And he is not a good guy who wants to help the Jake and the Sherry. Fuck! God damn it, this is so terrible! Anyway, I'm trying to relate my precious memories. Oh, here we go. Seriously? There we go. It's weird, because I would think... I don't know, like, I didn't play the games as a child, so I don't have a nostalgic memory of the games themselves. But in terms of, like, the storyline and the characters, it's weird, because I do, like, think of that kind of fondly and as, like, a childhood memory kind of thing. So I do feel a weird kind of investment in the Resident Evil franchise, even though, like, in terms of the game experience of playing the games, I don't necessarily have that tenable connection, right? It's peculiar. I would say I do have a...
Captain, we can't let them...
Why?
Our mission is to terminate the BOW.
Yeah.
But Neo Umbrella is after
I
them, shouldn't we?
said our mission is to terminate.
So literally nothing has changed except the tone of his voice. In the flashback, he was like...
BOW.
In the flashback, he was like, we need...
You need to think...
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up, Pierce! No one fucking cares! You're so stupid! The flashback, you were like, we need to take Jake in, because he is a bad guy, he is an insurgent, we need to take him down. And Chris's response was, no, our mission is to terminate the BOWs, it doesn't matter. And Chris was being like, oh, you know, he's got his mind on the mission, and Pierce is being dumb. Now... literally, the dialogue has not changed. His dialogue is, we need to go after them. And Chris's dialogue is, no, that's not our problem. But now, it's being presented that, oh, Pierce is a good guy. And Chris is being blinded by vengeance. Even though literally nothing has changed. Anyway. Fucking Christ. So... like, I don't know, it's weird. It's that's a classic door opening sound. That's the Resident Evil 4 door opening sound.
Alpha Team to HQ.
I definitely have a lot of connection to 4. I played 4 a lot as a child boy.
Shit! That's no way to go out!
I don't care. Fuck you. I don't care about these randos. These fucking red shirts who are wearing masks and I cannot see their face. Mahjong! Mahjong! Pierce.
Hold your fire.
Roger.
Mahjong? Let's play some Mahjong, Chris. I mean, Pierce. I hate you. So... is that Guan Yu? That looks like Guan Yu. God damn this fucking cover system! Is that supposed to be? I think it is. I think that's supposed to be... no, it might not be. I'm not sure. The textures are really low quality textures for some reason. They don't really have an excuse to be. I mean, this is supposed to be like an HD update. So yeah, I like the Resident Evil franchise. It's curious. So it was kind of a weird absence that I never played 6 all this time, even though it's terrible. And it's not like you can just say, oh, like...
that's the target!
Discontinuity, you know? Let's just say, oh, fuck it, Resident Evil 6 never happened. No! It's a numbered entry in the franchise. You can't ignore it. It's not like it's the Star Wars prequels. Stop. I'm just gonna stand here. I don't care. If the game doesn't actually want me to play it, then fuck you. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and do what it tells me to do. Suck my dick. So I do feel a need, and now that I am a grown man person, adult man, kind of, I have played all the games. And I have completed them all. So, like, I do feel like just for the sake of consistency and for the sake of completionism, I should play this. I should finish it. I should say I have completed Resident Evil 6. Right? For the sake of, like,
What the hell were you thinking? Pulling a kamikaze
consistency of my
These are
connection with the
You
franchise,
follow
right?
my lead, or I'll find someone who will.
Yes, get rid of
Do you
Pierce.
hear
Yes,
yourself?
I hear him, and I'm agreeing with him. I want you to go away. I want you to die. I hate this fucking I'm taking the headphones off because I don't want to fucking think about this. I want to be exposed to this story. It's garbage. This schlock. This... Ah, fuck. It's so
You
terrible!
heard the man. Let's move.
It makes me angry.
How are we supposed to drop this thing if we can't even
Oh,
Shut up
anyway.
and keep moving.
Fuck. Chris is a terrible character. I was talking about CVX before, and I have been playing that also, because I went from 2 to CVX, because that's like the I don't care, I'm leaving you. That's like the natural story follow-up from 2 is CVX, which, like I mentioned before, that's weird. Stop, I know. Game, if you want me to play you, then thank you, okay? I will wait until you are ready to let me play you. That's what will happen. Fuck off. It's weird that, like, the follow-up of the story took place in what is essentially a spin-off. It's not a numbered entry. It's more or less, like, in terms of not having a number attached at the end. It should, and it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be 3, because it's following up the continued storyline of Umbrella and the Redfield siblings and Wesker.
This shit's in the way. Give me a hand.
Oh, now he's swearing. That's how you know he's dark and edgy now. Fuck. And 3, the technically actual sequel, with a number at the end, didn't actually follow up on any kind of plot line. It was just
Everyone, report it.
slow walking the video game.
Pierce here.
Slow walking the video game. Slow walking the video game. It's a slow walking
hold yourself,
thing in the
Marco.
video
Where are you?
game. Oh.
Second floor! Oh shit! I think that thing's
Oh my
here!
god.
Target is on the 2nd floor. You all need to come here now.
Christ. Because it didn't follow up anything, it was just kind of closing out the loose end that was Raccoon City. Because after Resident Evil 2, they don't really explain what the fuck happened to Raccoon City. Right? Like, Leon and Claire just escaped from Raccoon City and that was it. But, like, there was still a zombie apocalypse happening, and they didn't really resolve that in the scope of that game.
Him screaming!
So they took the opportunity of Resident Evil
Marco, don't move.
Nemesis
Hold your position.
to
Do you
say,
hear me?
okay,
That's an
here's
order.
what happened. They nuked it. They nuked the shit out of fucking Raccoon City. And Jill was there, and here's what happened to Jill. And all that shit, because Claire was only interested in finding out what happened to Chris. And you find Chris's diary that says he was left to Europe, but, like, what happened to Jill? Oh, let's wrap up those loose ends. That's what 3 was. It was a wrap up the loose ends game. And it explains what happens to Raccoon City and, like, all that shit.
Okay, we find
But it didn't follow up the
we put
story.
it down fast and hard.
But it is also more of a sequel to 2 than CVX was in terms of gameplay mechanics, because again, they were being developed in tandem
Piers.
I'm on it.
and not sequentially. So even though RE3 was being made on the inferior system of inferior technology and was being made by
Son of a bitch.
not the team who was responsible, like, it was 2 different teams. It wasn't like they made 3 and then CVX, or they made CVX and then they made 3. They were doing it at the same time. So Nemesis, the third 3, like, introduced all these evolutions to the gameplay mechanics and quality of life features and whatnot that CVX lacked, and that's why CVX was always kind of weird. So this is blatantly just a redo of the Yawn fight from RE1, where you fight the giant snake Yawn, only it's way worse and terrible because everything in this game is terrible.
Right there!
And hey look, I love having control ripped away from me by the video game. God damn, it's so bad. This is actually really bad. And I don't like this video game. It's not fun to play. Oh, shit. So it's weird to go from 3 and then CVX, and it's like, why does... Oh, 3 had this shit, but CVX didn't. That's part of the reason. That's part of the reason why CVX is always this weird black sheep, because it was technically like made on a console that was stronger than the PlayStation, and was a continuation of the story and all this stuff, but it didn't have these gameplay features that 3 did have. And it was also this weird kind of regression, because it was just going, okay, you're stuck in a mansion or whatever again. Like, it was a confined environment that, like, had less of a justification for being that. Because, like, you were just on this prison island or whatever, and then you're in Antarctica or whatever, and that was stupid, by the way. Holy shit. Oh, I forgot I have a grenade thing. Let's do that, I guess. That'll cause more damage. So, and it's weird to go back to that, to this confined, like, obviously evoking the Spencer Estate kind of setting, with a whole bunch of, like, emblem collection. Like, going back to that, compared to, whereas previously you had 2 and 3, which had this slow sense of escalation. Because Resident Evil 1 was set in the Spencer Estate. It was set in the mansion. And it was a very small, confined locale. And it made sense why it had all this weird, goofy architecture and puzzle solving. And ammo was really scarce. And again, that made sense. The ammo was really scarce in this research facility. All of you shut up. I hate you. And then you go from that to Resident Evil 2. Which was predominant, like, it sort of sold itself as being, like, oh, now it's a zombie outbreak in a big city, and you're running around this huge zombie-infested city, but, like, really, the only time that game evoked that was, like, the first, like, 5 minutes on the way to the fucking police station, and the entire, like, 70% of that game is spent in the police station. And it's kind of the same thing again, where you're in this confined environment and solving puzzles and whatnot, but, okay. Okay.
His hide is toughened up or something. Our weapons aren't
Or
doing anything.
something. Oh, this is delightful. This is delightfully stupid. And not in a way where I'm enjoying myself and this is a good time how dumb this is, like RE4. Just, I have crossed over. I have break on through to the other side. I have evolved past my anger. And I'm still really pissed off. But it's like I have reached a zenith of anger. Where it's like Goku fighting the Saiyans, where It's the chapter title was Goku's Tranquil Fear.
I'm on it!
Like he's so enraged that it's wrapped back around itself to become a sense of calm. Like Ender in Ender's game, his anger was cold, and it worked for him. Won't let me. I don't care. Oh, missed it. Okay then. Oh, I am delight in your suffering. I am delight in your suffering. But it was still like you were in the middle of the city, and you were in a police station, so there was a ton of fucking ammo laying around everywhere. That's that's kind of a reason Resident Evil 2 was a little bit controversial, because it was like, dude, this is practically an action game. You can go through this game and you can finish the game with 1 billion bullets. Even if you kill every single zombie you come across, even if you go full zombie genocide, you still finish that game with way too much ammo. And it was still a more expansive setting. You go from the police station down to this lab, and then you escape the city. It was an escalation compared to... Oh, okay. Okay, then. I guess that's what'll happen now, then. Okay. It was still a sense of escalation. And then you get to RE3, which really fulfilled that promise of being in a fucking city of the living dead. That's what Nemesis brought to the table. You really felt like
We did it.
you were in a fucking raccoon city that was just overrun with zombies.
Marco, are you okay? Marco!
And holy shit, motherfucker. You know? Like running through the city streets, just wall to wall with zombies. And the ammo deal got even more ridiculous. Because, stop! I hate you. Got even more ridiculous because in that game, you were given a reloading tool, and there was a gameplay mechanic where you could collect gunpowder, and you could mix your own bullets. So, the degree of not only is there a shit ton of ammo and no, problems,
until we have her head on a stick.
there's, no issues of ammo conservation here, but you literally are creating your own ammo supply. Fucking Christ. And what is this all of a sudden, oh, we need to go after Ada? Was there any sign or semblance that Ada was here in this location? Is that why we were sent here? All of a sudden, oh, Ada, let's go find her, because I remember now that Ada is a thing, and I remember she exists. So, let's go find her. And it's what? Why would you assume Ada to be here just because you remembered that Ada was a thing? What the fuck is wrong?
Got no choice. We have to kill him.
God, this is so terrible.
He'd do the same for us.
I wish it was one of you. I wish you, Pierce, were dead, and this guy, whoever the fuck he is, was the new co-op partner instead. Holy shit, this is so bad. Oh, I'm so not... I'm trying to remember video games here that are fun and that I enjoy and that give me happiness to play them. But no, this game has to keep fucking dragging me into the shit with it. There you go. Have fun with that. Is he dead yet? Is he dead yet? Please die. I don't care. He's done. I hate everything. Is he dead? Okay. I don't care anymore. Stop! Okay. Oh my god. Fucking... And that's why Resident Evil Code Veronica felt like such this weird regression, because you go from City of the Living Dead, you go from running around a raccoon city infested ass zombie thing,
I'm on it.
and then you regress, and you go to this setting that's trying to be evocative of the Spencer estate. And it's like weirdly closed off and confined, and holy shit, that game is actually really difficult too. It felt weird following that up from Resident Evil 3. It would have made more sense to go from 2 to CVX and then to 3, right? But even though, like, it would feel weird to go from Code Veronica to 3, because you're going from this technically... I'm taking my headphones off again, I don't care. You're going from, like, this technically impressive, like, Dreamcast game to fucking, 3, which is this PlayStation-ass PlayStation game.
It's a good thing Finn's not around to see you this way.
Who? I don't even remember who that is. Who the fuck are you? Who is Finn? Some red shirt that I don't care about? Some faceless nobody that I have no emotional connection to?
HQ, this is Alpha Leader.
Like, what? Like, why do I care?
Going with you.
Why?
Someone's got to keep an eye on you.
You know what? You know what would have actually been a better line? You know what would have made that a marginal improvement? Is if he said, "It's a good thing Jill isn't here to see you like this."
We've got the location for you.
That
Ada Wong has
would
left the
have
city and is
been
heading
a
south
good
for the harbor.
line instead.
HQ to all teams. Target Ada Wong has been spotted, heading south for the harbor. We want her alive.